Chapter 5 Season 4 is finally here, and with the release of every new season so far in Chapter 5, we have received a new set of bosses, each who drop a medallion and a mythic item. This season, we got 3 new bosses, Emma Frost, Dr. Doom, and Mysterio, along with 3 new POIs that each one is assigned to, that being the Raft, Doomstat, and Castle Doom. And so today we're going to take a look and rank every new boss depending on the loot that they drop. Before we get started though, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could drop a like and subscribe to let me know that you guys enjoy the content that I make here on YouTube. And without further ado, here's the ranking of every Chapter 5 Season 4 boss. Coming in at number 3, or last place, has to be Mysterio. I hate to bash Mysterio here, but I can't lie, Epic did him dirty. Out of all the medallions that they could have chose, they chose to give him invisibility, which I kind of guess makes sense for him, but in the world of Fortnite, it's easily the worst medallion because it just simply gives you essentially half invisibility, because as we know with previous invisibility items within Fortnite, you are still very visible with that outline effect. You might be easy to miss at glance, but in an actual fight, you'd be easily spotted, and all the same things apply for Mysterio's invisibility medallion. And keep in mind, you also have to crouch to activate invisibility, and this can interfere with long-range fighting when boxed up, because I'm sure we all make our tall 1x1 base and then place a stair or a 3-way cone and then go to the edge and crouch to shoot at our opponents. But now if you have this medallion equipped and wanted to do that, you would have to stand, which would be overexposing yourself, and you'd be just an easy target for anybody around. And let's not forget, they also gave Mysterio the mythic version of the Sovereign Shotgun, which, let's be honest, is the worst shotgun in the game currently in this season. Obviously it's not the worst shotgun we've ever seen, but me personally, I'm still taking the hammer pump and most definitely taking the gatekeeper over the Sovereign Shotgun. I will admit, I do like how the Sovereign Shotgun has a fast fire rate, kind of like the tac, but the damage is just too weak for me, and that just really lowers my liking of it a lot. Listen, I love Mysterio in the movies, but I can't deny that he drops the worst medallion in the game and arguably the worst shotgun in the game currently. And so I think it's pretty obvious that he is the worst boss out of the 3. Coming in at number 2 though has to be Emma Frost. I absolutely love the Striker Burst AR, or AUG, however you want to call it, and the fact that she drops it in mythic rarity is even better. It's definitely the most control you have over an AR out of the 3 currently in the game, and it does suck that we didn't get hit scan back this season, because if we did, the Striker Burst would have been as crazy as it was back in the old days. But to account for the bullet drop off, Epic decided to actually buff the fire rate and damage on this thing, as well as decreasing the reload time on it. And as far as I've experienced, the bullet drop off on the Striker Burst isn't bad at all in close range fights, but the further the distance you have to shoot this thing, the more and more difficult it becomes at hitting your opponents. And of course, Emma Frost's version of the Striker Burst comes with a red dot, so it's essentially the OG AUG, but obviously with bullet drop off, which is alright. I mean, we've had 3 seasons of getting used to it, so it isn't that bad now, but I'm sure we'd all agree that hit scan is just better, more enjoyable, and just feels like Fortnite. Emma Frost also drops her medallion that reveals the location of enemies for a short duration, which is honestly pretty balanced, with it only being for a short amount of time. Now, if they were to make this thing all the time, that would have been crazy, but I actually like the concept for this medallion, and I don't think it's too overpowered. I feel like it's just right for what they want it to be. However, I can definitely see this medallion being used to kill a lot of campers, especially in ranked, so that can be a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. But yeah, dropping, in my opinion, the best AR in the game and arguably the best medallion, Emma Frost just has to fall at the number 2 spot and not the number 1 spot, and you'll see why in a second. And at number 1, our first place spot has got to be Dr. Doom, or now known as Doombot. Not only does he drop a medallion and a mythic weapon, he also drops his mythic arcane gauntlets on top of all that, just like the original ones back in Chapter 2 Season 4, but this time Dr. Doom's mystical bomb is also built in. So he essentially drops 2 mythic weapons compared to Mysterio and Emma Frost, who only drop 1 mythic weapon. And as soon as I knew this, I knew it was clear cut and obvious that Dr. Doom had to go at number 1. But hold on, let's pipe down. Let's talk about his other mythic, that being the new Monarch pistol that is actually very solid. It's sort of similar to the Deagle, but instead it has a much faster fire rate, allowing you to quickly get shots off, and this thing also does decent damage, with body shots being 81 damage and headshots being 137 damage on the mythic version of the Monarch. It also has a very cool and unique animation that I really enjoy, where you hold out the Monarch with your right arm, and even when you ADS, you are still in that animation, so it's a little nice gameplay touch right there. And surprisingly, bullet drop drop off doesn't really affect this pistol much, as it only has a slight drop off from range. So it can definitely be very accurate at times, which is very good, especially if you're going to make the decision and carry the pistol into endgame. Overall, I think it's a really solid pistol that can be really effective after taking some time getting used to it. And now, hold up, we aren't done just yet, because Dr. Doom still has his medallion that gives you Siphon, or as described, shields and health every time you eliminate someone. We've seen Siphon in general and medallions in the past that include Siphon, and it's just something that you can't beat, especially being the only person with the effect of Siphon. This medallion also gives you the option to drop heals and free up inventory slots to carry another item if you're feeling really confident in your fights. So yeah, out of all the bosses this season, I believe Dr. Doom to be the best bang for your buck. But if you want a more consistent long-range weapon along with the ability to mark enemies, I can see why Emma Frost may be your favorite. And if you just like being slightly hidden with the worst shotgun in the game, Mysterio is perfect for you. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't worry, I support you Mysterio fans out there, because I'm sure some of you may actually love his loot. But in all seriousness, be sure to let me know down in the comments what boss you think is the best this season. Is it Dr. Doom? Is it Mysterio? Or is it Emma Frost? We are approaching 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys enjoyed this ranking and would like to see more content similar to this, it would make my day if you would smash that like and subscribe button to help grow the channel so that more and more people can be exposed to the channel in hopes of creating a strong and welcoming community one day, because I appreciate each and every one of you guys, even if you don't necessarily agree with my opinion in these videos. No hard feelings, guys, don't worry. That's gonna do it for the video though, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.